Been a tradition since the early days of the NFL, and we're off on Thanksgiving Day in Detroit.
Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get it out just short of the 45 at the 44. Gotta like that start. 14 yards to get them going.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, this defense for the Lions, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
A Chicago 1st down there on a gain of 11.
And even though this is a top 5 rushing offense, and we see this especially early in the game, they're going to do their best to keep you honest. They don't want you getting the habit of stacking the box, so that's a good throw there. And they're able to come up with the 1st down.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out. They were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
You talk about this Lions defense.
They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. On 3rd down, Dyson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
A run now for the rookie out of Georgia. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is right there. It's good.
So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, was strictly the
rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. You talk about this Lions defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
Looking to throw is Williams. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Williams. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Dyson. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. To the air, Williams. Now they go screen. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Bears on the move. They've got another 1st down.
When I see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset, this is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
They'll run on 1st down. Dyson. And he powers through the first lane, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Throwing is Williams. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on fourth down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from third and long to now it's a go situation here on fourth and inches.
They'll try and run for it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago.
A great effort there with his 14th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bears' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. So they only needed a couple of feet there on fourth down, but they got more than that and then some as he takes this into the end zone.
And I love your description right there, right? Fourth and short. They got that. No problem. Let's go ahead and get the rest of it. Finish it off in the end zone. Touchdown. Everyone goes away happy on that one.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. The Lions at 8-2 on the year, and they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine getting ready for the postseason. Winners of 8 of their last 10.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down.
The tackle made back at his own 49.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line.
At their own 13-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And not a whole lot to speak of there, so bring him down shy of the 20. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection out here. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. Potter. For the left side, it's complete. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down. On 1st down, Frazier.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Potter.
And this one too low.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
2nd and 10.
They'll give it up the middle to Miller. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Lions have cut it back within a score.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dyson. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Dancing to his left.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I can hear the film session right now. I can hear the coach saying to his team, guys, how does a guy that big get that open?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Imagine him as a kid trying to play hide and seek.
No chance.
No chance. He goes to hide behind the skinny tree. You see the front, the back, the top. Good luck.
Yeah, you see him. You don't see the tree.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
To throw, Williams.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone. He's hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here's Williams. He'll get this into the hands of Odunze.
And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
On 4th down, here's Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the first down. It's now 1st and goal.
Throwing again here, Williams.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears.
Brian Thomas.
In the final seconds of the first half.
And the Bears would extend their lead here just before halftime.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
A final shot before break. Potter.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores and hope to come back and win this game.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Dyson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Well, maybe that's the spark that they needed here, Charles. Trailing, but a big block. We'll see if that swings the momentum a bit.
You mentioned the word spark. I'm just wondering, as they went off the field and the offense was coming out, did one of those special teams members say, hey, obviously we haven't given up on this one. We've given you a little bit of a spark. What are you going to do with it?
That nearly trouble, but it's incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it, and it'll be 2nd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. In motion left goes a tight end. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. That is caught. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Lions Lions take the block field goal and convert it into 6 points. Now the try here for the point after. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dyson, 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations than 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
This is Young on the carry. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know they're trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. First target, first catch, and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
This is 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Williams. He finds his man, complete. That's Stevens. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Good work after the catch, going to net him 23 and a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now a give, right side. Dyson slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Looking to throw. Williams. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And almost, but not quite. Needed 10, he got 9. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Second down and 6 now. They'll keep it on the ground. Frazier. Down the sideline he goes. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
They'll run on first down. Frazier knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Out of the gun now on third down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Williams from the gun on third down.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to load that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And his kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that last turnover could have proven more costly, but their defense only gave up 3. But now answering with a field goal doesn't do them much on this drive. They need to try and find the end zone. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Potter. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now he's free at the 35. He may go.
Touchdown, Detroit. A great effort there. 70 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. Second and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Here's Williams. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun. Williams. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Down at the 35, it'll be second down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Williams. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Down to the 10. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A great play there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Bears answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown on the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 6-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
2nd and 6. Throw left side complete. That's Patton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll try the left side. Frazier. Oh, nice move. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Here's 1st and 10.
He'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteeing he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now a give, right side. Frazier. He juked him.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Here now, 2nd and goal.
It's a quarterback sneak. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Boy, just a gigantic play here, both sides. This is 3rd and inches.
And that is caught. Touchdown. They get an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. This is 1st and 10.
He's back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
They'll look to throw.
Pass complete, Thomas.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Back to throw.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
They still need one completion for field goal range.
And just think about what they're going over in the huddle right now. Make the catch, get out of bounds. That's going to be tough to do. So make the catch, get up to the line of scrimmage, and clock it to have one last shot.
Back to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Stevens. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Throwing to start the drive. Potter. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. This one is caught. It's Patton.
He's to the 15.
And he's in! Are you kidding me?
How do you get that
One
up?
of the most improbable ways to finish a game. And they do win it on the final play.
Charles, that drive was perfect. Methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and did not